Nowadays, if you've noticed, you work so hard. You're grinding every day, putting all your effort, and most of the time it's like there's nothing in return. There's nothing to show for. Okay? You wake up every day, you do what you think is best, you give it your best, and at the end of the day, nothing different, nothing much happens. And this kills a lot of people's morals, especially when after some time you keep doing the same thing and it's not giving you any form of return, or there's no difference when you go check your bank account. So today I'll be giving you a few reasons why that is. Stay with me. Hi, I'm Miss Muithathi and welcome back to my channel. I talk about personal finance, life, without pretending that everything is easy. Okay, I try so much to be relatable so I can get through to most. Okay, so even if I impact just one individual, I'll be a proud person. Okay. So if this is your first time here, or if you've not, please subscribe, like, turn on notifications bell so that next time I upload a new video, you're notified. Okay. Today we are talking about why nowadays, as much as you work hard, it's not like in the olden days. Nowadays, working hard seems not to be working anymore. I'll give you reasons as to why. And number one is because nowadays working hard has diminishing returns. Okay, there's diminishing returns on effort, the effort you put. Okay, and this is not happening like in just one industry. It's in many industries. It doesn't matter what industry you're in. Okay, whether it's beauty, whether it's construction, whatever it is, there's diminishing returns. The returns are just low, and this is because nowadays output is no longer tied to hours. Things keep changing. Yeah, there was a time you were paid depending on hours you've worked. There's a few places where that still applies, but even if you look at such industries, the pay is so little. Okay, industries where you're paid according to hours you've worked, the pay is less. And this is because there's things like automation. Yeah, nowadays people, if they can automate something, that's what they do. So even if you were to assist in any way, the wages you will get from there is something very small. There's also AI. Okay, AI doesn't require as much time or effort a human being would use, and globalization has decoupled effort from results. There's also the busyness trap, being busy. And this is where most people, if you've not really changed your mindset, you would think just because you work hard, or you're in an industry where you need to use a lot of muscle, or your presence is needed most of the time, most people confuse that with being productive. Okay, so hard work is confused for productivity, which of course is bad because it leads to performative work. Yeah, some people just think I need to perform, or I need to look like I'm doing something, when in reality they are doing nothing. And this is where you'll find in some industries, there's individuals who work long hours, okay, but there's less input. When you look at the hours they've put in and the impact they've made, it's not matching. Of course, over time, you'll face burnout, you'll get tired without advancing your goals. There'll be no growth when it comes to you. Another reason also is there's wage stagnation. This happens in most countries. I think it's all over the place, yeah. Versus productivity. You see, everything, the cost of living is rising. Prices of everything keep rising, but your salary remains the same. Yeah. Of late in Kenya, the fuel prices have gone up. I'm sure even in other countries. But you see, if you're employed, your salary is still the same, right? And this is something that has happened for decades. It didn't start just the other day. Worker productivity has risen so much, while real wages are just flatlined. Working harder doesn't mean earning more. You're just giving more of you with normal returns or less, because it's not growing, and at the rate of which things are moving, it doesn't look like it's growing anytime soon either. And if it does, maybe in one industry, okay, and you never know if it will be your industry or something totally different. And of course there's systemic ceilings. This is where things like when I say systemic ceilings, this is for example, for you to get a promotion or to even get a well-paying job, you need things like connections. Okay, so if you don't have these connections or you don't know someone, that's your ceiling. You can't move beyond that ceiling. Okay, if you don't have connections, if you don't have privilege, if you don't know, if you're not lucky, there's people who are just lucky. Huh? And with this luck, it doesn't happen every time. You might be lucky this time, next time you're not. It's not something that you can rely on. So those are just examples of systemic ceilings. Luck, connections, not effort. So as much as you work so hard, let's say you deep down you're a very hardworking person, but you lack these things, access barely breaks through. And that's why a lot of people nowadays is just giving up. People are reaching their breaking points, because at the end of the day you ask yourself, how long, how much more can I give? Yeah, it's not easy anywhere, but at the end of the day we keep grinding and hoping for the best, and always looking for better options, looking for greener pastures. Yeah, because what else can you do? What else is there for you to do? Yeah, do best, try networking, do what you can, and always pray luck finds you one way or another, and you make best use of that. Okay. Another reason is opportunity cost, because let's say the time you spend overworking, there's people who have like 2 jobs. Yeah, so the time spent overworking, doing these jobs, giving it your best, most times locks you in a single path, which at the end of the day reduces you. Now you don't even have time to learn something like a new skill. You're working so hard, you're working long hours, you don't have time to network, so that at least that you can try and build connections, so you can break the ceiling. No, you're too busy sometimes that you can't even spot opportunities, new opportunities, or higher leverage opportunities. In some extremes, it affects your health and your relationships. When you're always working hard, giving it your all, giving it your best, at some point, and there's no return, it will affect you. It will affect your health, and it will affect your relationships. And you see, chronic overwork, it leads to burnout. In some cases, it leads to illnesses. Yeah, and of course, broken personal lives. A very expensive price to pay. Costs that are too huge that they are erasing any marginal gains from extra hours. Another reason why hard work doesn't work anymore nowadays is because it puts you in the trap of being reliable. Like it's a danger. You're out here giving it your best, but you don't know the position you're putting yourself in. And this is because if you're out here trying to prove to your bosses, your managers, to whoever, that you can do everything, you can do it all, until you can handle more work, they'll just get you to do more work, nothing else. They'll make sure the money they pay you, as much as it's less, they break you. And that's why nowadays you'll hear people being advised, when you're being given a promotion, don't take it. Because they'll make sure that money, the amount of money they are paying you, they'll make sure you work for that money. So sometimes trying to show people that how hardworking you are can be a danger to yourself. Because you'll just get more work. Which brings us back to what I was saying. It will affect your relationships. At the end of the day, it will affect your health. You'll never have time for anything else apart from work. I'm sure you've seen these people. Their life is just about work, nothing else. And they think that's a good thing. And it's not. Because they've been enslaved by this thing called work. More work, no reward. Or less rewards. So this means we're simply punishing competence instead of incentivizing it. There's also capital extraction model. This is often how employers extract maximum value while minimizing headcount. So this is to say, they are not rewarding you, they're just exploiting you. Last but not least, why working hard doesn't work anymore is because they keep shifting the goalpost. There's no end to these things. It's like a cycle. And in this world, there's different types of cycles. So you just need to be smart about which cycle you find yourself in. When you work harder, of course your expectations rise. Above and beyond becomes the new baseline. So you never get ahead. When the goalpost keeps shifting, even let me give it to you literally. Let's say you're playing football. You know that's the goal, palendio or goalkeeper. Okay, that's the goalpost. But the more you kick the ball and they keep shifting the goalpost, they keep moving it further and further away, what do you think will happen? You'll get tired at the end of the day. And that's when a lot of people give up, because they feel, I will never reach this goalpost. Okay? That's where smart people realize the people shifting this goalpost are taking me for a fool. And I'm done with this. Okay? So when you hear people out there getting tired, these are the reasons. I'm sure at some point, everyone, as long as you're normal, people have valid reasons as to why they're doing whatever it is that they're doing. So whenever you feel someone telling you, I'm tired, I've given it my all, I don't see any return, and I want to let go. Sometimes it's nice if you listen to them and just for a moment allow them to be in that moment. Because I'm sure they've seen fire. And finally, luck and timing dominate. And this is because you see most financial successes out here. It doesn't really matter where. Okay? May it be in startups, real estate, something like a career break. All of that comes with being in the right place at the right time. Okay? It doesn't come from outworking others, at you know overdo. No, it doesn't come out of that. As I said, it comes from connections, being in the right place at the right time. Otherwise, you'll keep hustling, you'll keep working hard, you'll keep giving it everything, and at the end of a few years, a few months, you have nothing to show for. And if you're not careful, you'll work hard all your life. You'll end up breaking relationships. If you're married, you might even end up getting divorced. Or you even have a family. You don't even have time for your family, for your children, for your wife. Because, according to you, you're working hard, forgetting that that is not what it takes. Nowadays, it's about working smart. And that's why you see a lot of people are working from home. Okay? Because it's about output. So you need to sit there and ask yourself, whatever it is that I'm doing, can I do it for lesser time? Can I find a better place where I can do this for lesser time and be paid more? You have to be smart. You have to start networking. You have to find better. You network so that you can increase the ceiling limit, because you never know who will help you out here. All these things are just advantages for you. But simply working hard, then it means donkeys would rule the world, because they work so hard. Don't have a donkey mentality. We don't live in the era of working hard, that's when you have, no. Actually, when you look at things nowadays, when you look at life, the people who work less, they're the ones who make more money. Okay? So you make money, and the money makes money for you. Let the money do more of the work, so that you can do more of the relaxing. You do the thinking, let money do the working. At the end of the day, the people who use their minds are winning more than the people who use muscle. So you see, working hard nowadays is just a trap. Okay? And if you find yourself in an industry where you're just working hard, just know you're in the lowest industry. That's where there's the lowest pay. And they will discard you as soon as they can find ways to get that work done using AI or a robot or a machine. So the best thing you can do for yourself is learn a skill. Okay? Make time. Find a way you can make more money. More money, less work, less time. So you can have more time for yourself, for your family, to do other better things. Okay? Because at the end of the day, you are not born to just work. All of your adulthood is just working. No, you can do better. Yeah? Nowadays, we work to create more time for ourselves. Work, so that we have freedom of time. Okay? Freedom to do whatever it is that we want. Things that make us happy. Freedom to go where we want to go. Freedom to travel. Freedom to spend time with people we love, our loved ones. Okay? But that will never happen if you don't change your mindset. Okay? So stop thinking that you wake up every day working hard, that at the end of a few years you'll have a lot to show for. No. And that's why you see people, even after they're employed, smart people, they keep studying. Okay? Still go back to school, they're still trying to learn something new. They are not content. Okay? That's how you rise. And I'm not saying that you have to go to a university. If you can, good. If you can't, go learn a skill. Okay? Go to a technical college or something. Just learn something you can do with your hands. Yeah? Be your own boss. Yeah? Even if you can't be your own boss, you can work for big companies. Nowadays, you can apply for jobs where you work from home. A few hours and you're done. And you have your money. Yeah. So, in 2026, moving forward, you should not be having an excuse as to why you're stuck in that job where you work like a donkey. You don't have an excuse. Okay? So let's do better as people. It's true. Hard work doesn't pay. As I said, donkeys would be the billionaires of the world. Okay? Yeah, and that would mean people who own donkeys are the wealthiest, because they are the animals that work hardest with very poor conditions. Yeah? When you look at a donkey's life, there's nothing to admire. Okay. So if you're a very hardworking person with nothing to show for, then it means your life and that of a donkey there's no much difference. Okay? It just means the difference is nobody's beating you. Yeah? But you can always do better. Okay? Start networking. If you're an introvert, find a way of, break out of that shell. I know it's not easy. Even me, I'm a little bit of both. Introvert, extrovert. It really depends on who is around me. Okay? But of course, I like to stay indoors most of the time. But it doesn't mean I don't understand the power of networking. I do. There's power in networking. Okay? There's power in learning new skills. Okay? Me, I'm a learner. Yeah. That's the only way I survived without being employed. Doing my own things, businesses, and raising my daughter. Okay? So, I am a testimony that skills pay. Okay? They do pay. But you have to change you have to be willing to learn. You have to agree to some things. Like change is constant. You have to agree that unless you take that step, nobody will take that step for you. Unless you change, you'll suffer for the rest of your life. You'll give it your all with nothing to show for. And then at the end of the day, we are growing older by the day. Your body won't be able to take it. So what happens then? Even the money that you would have made by that moment won't be enough even to pay your hospital bills, or to buy any medication you need. Okay? Yeah. So be inspired by people who work less. Stop calling people out here lazy. No. Maybe you should ask them what it is that they do. Maybe. As long as it doesn't go against your values, I think you should listen and learn. If you can learn something, then you should go practice it for your own good. Okay? Yeah. But nowadays, hard work, we have machines for that. There's AI for that. And only God knows what we should expect as life goes on. Okay? Yeah. Anyway, that's what I had for you today. I'm not preaching laziness. I'm just saying you can do better. And I agree with you. Hard work will only break your back. Sweating more doesn't mean that you're smarter than everybody else or you're better than everybody else. Okay? And just because someone sweats less or someone works 1 hour and you work 8 hours or 10 hours a day, it doesn't mean you have to be enemies or you have to despise each other or, It just means you, the one who's using a lot of energy to make a certain amount of money, it means you need to start thinking differently. Okay? Because that says the way you're thinking is not working for you right now. Okay? That's also another advantage of networking. You get to see how people do things, how people handle things. You get to learn. Okay? And you never know who you'll meet out there. People are different. Okay? There's people who will embrace you out there. There's people who are hungry to teach people. There's people who don't want to win alone. Okay? There's people who are okay with giving you a helping hand. But you need to put yourself out there. You need to interact with these people. Okay? But only if you're hungry enough. Well, I hope this helps someone. Okay? But don't hate yourself. Just be more open-minded. Okay? Just look at the world differently. Allow yourself to look at the world differently. They say we unlearn the things we used to know and learn new things. We relearn. Okay? Be okay with that. And ask God to help you accept things that you cannot change and embrace things you can change. Know the difference. So you don't waste your time on things that are irrelevant or things that are breaking you. Okay? I gotta go. I'm Miss Moithathi, and I'll see you in my next video. For your opinions, well, write to me on the comment section, and I'll try my best to get back to you, to respond. Yeah? Cheers.